So I've been asked by a couple of YouTubers now what vlogging gear I use, and I thought, well, I haven't really done a what's in my bag video, so I thought maybe what I could do is a landscape photography edition of what's in my bag, but also a vlogging edition. So I'll show you what photography gear I use and also what vlogging gear I use as well, because I thought maybe if you're starting out in doing what would be the word for it, vlogging, but vlogging photography, it might be good to know some of the things that I've picked up and that I use that over the years, because I started off when I first started, I was first of all I was recording on my phone. No, actually, when I first started, I started recording on my phone. Then I went to an XA11, which is a documentary camera. Then I went back to a phone, and then I went to, I want to say, did I go straight? I think I went straight to the Action 4. So a few things that I changed over the years, and also same as my microphones, I went from a wired, so obviously I went from the phone microphone to a wired microphone to wireless microphones. So my journey might help other people if they're just starting out. So that's what this video is going to be about. So let's start with the first item, and I've got them all laid out in front of me here. So I've literally emptied my bag. So we're going to start with, I'm just going to grab them, so it's going to be in a random order. It's not going to be in sequential order or anything. So the first item I've got is this. Now for the landscape photography side, this helps me find a subject and get basically a nice clean image so I can see through the viewfinder without all the distractions. So this eliminates all the distractions. I find that really helpful for woodland photography especially, but it's good for just finding out compositions, and you can change the size of each of these things to the size of the crop that you want. So if you wanted an 8x9 or a 16x9 or something like that, then you adjust this to the crop that you want, square crop. So that's the first thing that's in my bag, and I'm just going to put them down on the, there's a red ant's nest below me literally, and they're carrying around, I didn't realise I was stood on it, and they're carrying around the eggs down here. I don't know if I can just show you quickly. So I maybe ended up getting bitten down here. So it's literally right in front of me, and I've got all my gear laid out here. So I'm going to get through this as quick as I can before I get bit. So that's the first thing. Second thing, so I'll try and get the actual landscape stuff out of the way. So this is obviously my camera, my main body, which is the EOS R5 Mark II. I come from the 5D Mark IV, so it confuses me. R5 Mark II. So this is a new one to me. So that's my go-to body. I'm going with the, because I'm poor and I can't afford the RF lenses, EF 24-105. This is one of my go-to lenses. I've got two main go-to lenses. So this gets me wide, but not completely ultra wide, but it also can give me the ability just to punch in if I need to, just to 105mm, and then obviously I've got cropping if I need it. It saves me carrying around massive lenses. I do have a 100-400, but I don't very often carry it unless I'm doing something specific, then I'll bring it. So that's my always in my bag lens. And the next one that's always in my bag is this one. Now it was, it's just fallen off there. It was the 17-40 Canon L lens, but I've lost that one recently. So I've replaced it with this one, which is a Tamron 15-30 lens. So this one's ultra wide lens, and I always have an ultra wide in my bag as well. So those are my two go-to lenses. I don't really have any other lenses that I take with me when I'm doing landscapes, unless it's specific that I'm going, you know, if I'm going for a specific reason, then I'll take the long lens with me. But other than that, those are my go-to lenses and my body. Then on the body, I'll attach an intervalometer. So I use this for long exposures. So I'm going out for, say, waterfalls or anything like that, sunrises. Sometimes I'll use it at sunrise or sunset. I could use this. If it's a windy day, nice cloudy day, intervalometer, set your camera into bulb, and then you can use this to time your shot. So rather than just guessing how long your exposure is going to be, you can actually set a time in here. So like a 3-minute exposure, you can dial this into 3 minutes and then take your shot without having to remember to stop the exposure. So that's that one. The next thing I have is this. Is a loop, a view catcher, a viewer. So basically you look through there. So for really bright sunny days, or sometimes like snowy days where everything's white, you can put this up to the back of the screen, and then you can look through this and see the image that you've just taken nice and clearly. Now, I haven't used it, I must admit, I haven't used it since I got my R5 Mark II, because now I can view the image in the viewfinder, whereas I never used to be able to do that before. So this might actually come out of my bag, I'm not sure yet. It does give you a bigger image than the viewfinder would give you, so it may have its use yet, we'll see. So then the next thing I've got is, goddamn, cleaning equipment. So I've got a filter cleaner for a rag and cleaning fluid, and also my my duster. And then my blower I don't have on me, but I do normally carry a blower, but I've taken it out of my bag to do something and I've not put it back in. So that's my cleaners. So I use that to clean my lenses, not my sensor. So those are my cleaners. Spare batteries. Now these are essential, you have to carry these. Carry them in a little case like this because it keeps them dry, and also it can protect them from the cold a little bit, but not very much. So always carry spare batteries. Next thing in my bag is my Freewell filters. Now I do normally carry Lee filters, but I'm trying out these Freewell ones, which are magnetic ones. These are a little bit smaller and compact than the Lee filter system. I got the Lee 100 filter system, and that is quite cumbersome. It's quite a big system to carry around, so I'm trying them out because I think they give a really good image, just probably as good as the Lee filters, but it's a lot smaller package. I've always got the adapter on the end of my lens, so I can always just whack the filter on without having to mess about putting a filter system on to put the lens on. So the next thing I've got is a head torch. I always carry this around. I've always got this in my bag. It's always charged up. Now, the reason I carry this, obviously, sunset, sunrise. If you're off on, say, Dartmoor and you're waiting for a sunset shot, you get the sunset shot, and then you've got a 20 minutes, half an hour walk back to the car. It can get quite dark, be quite dangerous. Whip one of these out your bag. You never know when you're going to need one. It's always handy to have. Then there's the tripod, which is my K&F tripod, and also the geared head, which is a newer geared head. That geared head is absolutely amazing. I love it. I can set up my composition, and then I can just make micro adjustments to my composition without undoing the ball head and it just falling forward. So yeah, geared head, really good. Always carry that with me. Really heavy, but yeah, it's the payoff of having something that you like using. I did do a weigh in my bag before I came out, and my bag with all my gear and my geared head, my tripod, the lot, camera, was 7 point something, I can't remember what it was, the exact number, 7 point something kilograms. So it's quite heavy. So let's get on to the vlogging side, which is I know what you've all come for. So action cameras. So now I've got two of these. I've got an Action 4 and an Action 5 Pro, and I use these as my go-to vlogging gear. Like I said before, at the start, I used to use a phone, and then I went on to an actual documentary camera, and it was a bit cumbersome and it looked a bit too much to be vlogging with. So these are perfect because they're small, they're quite discreet. You can get away with vlogging with these and not looking like a complete numpty, and you don't look like a professional. There was one time when I was doing a vlog at Venford Falls, I was set up, I had my tripod up because I had this big XA11 not cinema camera, the documentary camera. So it's about this big. It's kind of like a big camcorder, and I had that, and I had a wireless wired microphone, and I was wired up to this thing, talking to this thing. I turn around and there's like 30 people behind me, all looking at me, thinking I'm doing some sort of documentary. So that was the thing that made me think, right, I need to downscale, make my setup a little bit smaller, so I look like, you know, a little vlogger, not like a David Attenborough type documentary maker. So go to Action 4 I use for my B-roll now. I used to use this for everything. You can use this for everything. If you're doing vlogs, it's very easy to use one camera, but I just separate the two now. So I've got one for B-roll and I've got one for A-roll, which is what I'm recording on now. So the Action 5 Pro is what I'm using for A-roll. They come with these protective housing, and I know you're thinking this is all smashed up, but it's only the screen that's broke on this. Actually, this piece broke as well, but I've replaced that because these are unscrewable. You can take them off. I put a bit of sellotape on this, but the touchscreen still works. The back's perfectly fine. Now, this fell off my car at 40 miles an hour. It was mounted to a mount that sticks to the side of your car, and it fell off at 40 miles an hour, and the only thing that broke was the front screens, but the whole camera itself works. And actually, I think this door it's got a bit bent, and I straightened that out. But really robust cameras for what they are. If you keep them in the housing, probably even more robust. So ever since then, I've kept it in the housing. And talking of housing, I also have 2 houses for them. So I carry 2 of these around because they're useful to keep in your bag. So what I find is I was chucking them in the bottom of my bag, and the lens on the front can get scratched, and these are obviously quite sensitive because they're touchscreen, so I don't want to go messing that up. And now I am going to buy some screen protectors for them. I haven't got any yet, but I'm going to buy some screen protectors for them. But for now, I'm keeping them in these, and that just protects them. And these are quite good because what they do is, looking for my other camera where I've put it. So what they do is you put them in there like so, and then when you zip that up, it leaves the bottom open, so you can have it connected to your camera or your tripod or whatever it is you have it connected to. Not your camera, you wouldn't connect it to your camera, but you could have it connected to your tripod the whole time, and then when it comes time to using it, just take the case off the front and it's already good to go. So the next thing I carry around with me in my bag is my microphones. So these are my wireless mics. These are the mini ones from DJI, and I have the bigger ones as well. I can't remember what version they are, but they are really good. The wireless one works. The reason I bought this one, the mini, is because it works with the Action 5. It will connect to it Bluetooth, so all my audio goes straight to my camera. Now what I was doing before, I had the bigger ones, and what I would do is I'd record my audio to the device, I'd take it home, I'd plug it into the computer, download the audio off of that, download my footage separately, get them into Premiere Pro, add them both together to the same timeline and sync up the audio, and that was a bit more of a faff. Whereas with these, the audio goes straight into the actual camera, and I have none of that messing about to do. I've only got one file to transfer across, and it's all synced up in post. So it makes my job a lot easier when post-processing and doing all my editing and stuff. I haven't got to worry about it, whether it recorded the audio or whether, because what will happen is sometimes you'll start recording on this, but I might be too far away from the actual camera for it to hear me talking, so there's no audio for it to sync to, and then you end up having to manually sync it, trying to lip sync it, and it's a bit of a pain in the neck. Whereas this way, much better. So that's the reason I bought these. I've got 2 of these, and also got, which comes along with that, is these wind muffs. So I carry these with me as well, extra wind muffs. And in here is also propeller blades for my drone as well. So all my little accessories that I need. And there's also, you've got a couple of little Allen keys that I carry as well. And they will be for tightening up my tripod. My tripod legs, sometimes they get undone. The Allen keys do that. So that's what that bag's for. So the other thing I carry is these, this Joby GorillaPod, which I can attach to a tree, or I can prop it up on the ground, use it as a bit of B-roll if you want to put this for a B-roll. This one I mainly use, though, I used to use this one all the time for B-roll, but now I mainly use it just to hold because it's quite low profile and I can stand there and hold it without looking too silly with a massive tripod and being all in your face sort of thing. So I mainly use that for that. So the next thing in my bag is a chest strap. So now this chest strap, it goes over you and you can just clip your camera straight to the front of this and then you can walk around. So I use this mainly for street photography. I haven't done any yet, but bird photography, maybe I'll use it for that. But yeah, this is really good just for POV shots, anything like that. This thing is perfect for that. So I always carry that in my bag just in case I want to do a video where I've got a POV shot. If I'm in a crowded place and I'm taking photos, it's good. You can get your hands up. You've still got access to your camera. You can do all the stuff and you also record at the same time. So a hands-free kit, always in my bag. The next thing I carry in my bag is this for vlogging. So this is a Magic Arm. So basically what you do is you attach, how I do it is I attach this to my tripod. So you undo the clamp, that attaches to your tripod. This you position where you want, and then you do this arm up and it will keep everything in position. It will keep it all dead still so it won't move. Then you attach your camera to the top. So this will be in front of me. So when my tripod's set up, this will be in front of me attached to my tripod. So again, hands-free. I've got this in front of me, so I'm not standing there holding this stick out in front of me. So I can do vlogging in public a little bit easier when let's say I'm at the beach doing a long exposure. I can talk to the camera, I can have this camera pointed at me, or I can also spin it around for a POV shot and not have to hold it out. It's sort of like a little bit less conspicuous, so that's always a good thing to have if you get one of these. And then there's the B-roll tripod, which is a bigger one. So again, this is K&F, so this will fold down quite small. I quite like this one just for doing a little bit of B-roll. It gets you up a little bit higher than the other one, not much, but it's still good for what I found was the other one that I've got, this one, sometimes it was quite hard to position this with the legs and get it in the right place, whereas this it's all sturdy, so it pretty much sits in place and you haven't really got to worry about it. So that's my B-roll camera, again with magnetic head on top. And then of course there is the magnetic heads, which I have on all of my gear. So I have one of these on my suction one that sticks to the side of the car for B-roll, and these just clip on and off. And they're perfect for just quick swapping, so hot swapping. If I wanted to swap from one system to another, if I'm carrying that, I can just pop that down, I can clip that on, and then I'm good to go. I'm ready to go for the next shot. I can go to B-roll, I can go to chest cam, I can go to B-roll on the side of the car. I can swap my cameras around without really having to worry too much about adapters and connecting things and all that sort of stuff. Quick and fast to use. So yeah, those are definitely a must, I would have said. One thing I do like is to have this in my bag. Now this is it's originally, which I still got the adapter, one of these things here, they magnetically sit onto this. Now I wasn't too happy with it not being, I mean it's quite a strong magnet, but I wasn't too happy about it not thingy. So it was the original one that I bought for vlogging in public, was this one, and then I'd stick my action cam on there, but I didn't like the way, at the time it just wobbled around too much and I didn't like the way it moved, so I replaced it with the chest harness, which is sturdy and it stays still. But now what I use this one for, this is quite a handy one to have, my microphones. So I can stick my microphone to that. So when it's a cold winter's day, your microphone obviously attaches magnetically, but if you've got sorry, I'm messing you around here. So if you've got a thick coat on, the magnets won't go through the coat. They're not strong enough. And sometimes if they are strong enough, they might fall off. So, and I'm not really a fan of searching around for my stuff. And I've had it a few times where the magnets, where the microphone's fallen off, the magnet's fallen down inside my coat, and I've not been able to find any of the magnets that go with this to replace them, so I don't want to take that risk. That as well as it's got a clamp as well, so it has got a clamp, but that's exactly the same principle in the sense that it clamps onto your coat. But if you've got a thick coat on because it's a cold day, they don't clip on very well, and then they're quite liable to pinging off. And if you're doing a vlog and you're out walking around, you might not notice it's pinged off until 5 minutes later, and that's it, you've lost your microphone. Then somebody's finding your microphone, playing all the audio back, thinking, what the hell is this idiot talking about? So this is pretty good for keeping hold of your microphone. So cold winter's days I use this. You'll see me using this for out when I'm out and it's cold. So perfect for that sort of thing. Now I don't know what this is called, but you'll be able to find them on Amazon because I bought this one on Amazon. So the next thing for my bag is a drone. So I'd use B-roll. I use this for B-roll. This is the Neo. I did start off because I've got a Mavic Pro 2, and I did start off using that, and it was so heavy to start with. Plus I have to carry big batteries. I have to keep recharging my batteries all the time. The controller I have to set up with my phone. I have to get that out. It was just an absolute pain to use. I will probably take it if I go to somewhere really good, like if I go to an epic location or something, I'll probably take it because the footage is on, it's brilliant footage. Whereas this thing, the footage isn't so great, but it's a compromise I'm willing to make, a sacrifice I'm willing to make, because it is so portable. So I can literally just put this out, press a button, and it takes off and starts filming me with no controller at all, and it will just follow me around, and it will do whatever it is I've programmed it to do. So you've got a little program button on the top that you can change the settings for. So really good for getting that B-roll, walking away from camera, walking down cliffs or whatever it is you want to walk. This thing will follow you. This thing's really good for that. USB-C, connect it to your computer at home and transfer the footage off, and it also charges the same way as well. But you can, I believe, buy spare batteries for this, which are these little things here, but one battery for me is more than enough. If I charge this fully, it will stay charged for weeks, and I can just keep it in my bag, and then when I need to use it, I can just pop it out, pop that up in the air, fly around for a bit, and then land it, and I've got my footage on there. It is 4K footage, but it does require a lot of light, so it's not the greatest, and I find that it's quite jerky with the movement, so I have to stabilize the images in post. But again, not a big deal for the amount that I will use it, or I do use it. It's a really good feature to have, and it's very lightweight just to keep in your bag. Then there's the obligatory glasses, which I carry because it helps me see the back of the screen a little bit easier, so I can see whether my composition's right or not. Don't need these. These are 3 times the strength. I don't really need these. I do use reading glasses, which are 1 times, but then I'm nearly 50, so you know my eyes are getting a little bit bad. But this is 3 times. And I also use these for macro photography as well, so when I want to get up close to insects, I can actually see the really small insects using these. Then I also have an emergency mini toilet in my bag as well, just for those times when you really do need to go, but you've got nowhere to go. And then finally, the last thing, I've got these little shower caps, whatever they are, food covers. So these are all nice and wrinkled up, so they fit in your bag nice and small, and then they'll pull out, and they're quite big. They'll cover my entire camera. So if it starts to rain, I can whip one of these out, put it over my camera. My camera doesn't get too wet, or it won't get wet, but obviously if it's started to rain and your camera gets wet, you can chuck this over the top quickly, stop it getting any wetter. And then obviously if it's gonna last a long time, you pop your camera away, you can leave the cover on your camera. So again, it's not gonna ruin your camera. So a couple of these, always carry a few of these in my bag just to be on the safe side, just in case it rains. So that is it. That is my landscape photography and vlogging setup all done. Let me know if it was useful to you, and if you're a vlogger or if you're about to start vlogging, what kit have you got? How have you set your stuff up? I'd love to know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.